Albany is so beautiful place to live in.
This is a city where you can participate.
And we love this community. It's our home.
I'm Julie Wakely Lynch, pastor at St. Albans Episcopal Church in Albany. I'm here today because I care about affordable housing in Albany. Many of my parishioners find it very challenging, if not impossible, to live here, and I myself don't live in Albany because I couldn't afford it. Almost every week now, people are coming to me, whether in my own congregation or through the doors of the church, telling me about their needs for affordable housing in this community. They're either homeless or on the verge of being homeless. I really believe that a strong community is one that has people from many walks of life and levels of income, and I love the diversity of this city, and I want it to continue to be a strong and thriving one. This is Paulo Curry, and we're going to be talking today about his experience of housing in Albany, where he's been a resident for many, many years.
For a long time, I had a partner that I lived with, and we had a house, and between the two of us, that was fine. We could do that. But since I'm no longer there and no longer with that person, it's proven to be much more difficult. About half the time, I live at a friend's house, so I don't really and truly have my own place, And then at other times, I have other places that I go and I stay, different friends or whatever. So at this point, I don't have a secure income. So without a secure income, you can have a secure place to live.
I had been a caregiver since I came. I studied CNA because I was a teacher in the Philippines for many years. I had been here in Albany since 1990 with my husband, who was a veteran, how we came to the United States. My husband died, so I can't afford that anymore, so I have to give that up, and I moved to my nephew's house, and I am still hoping and praying that I can go back to this place where my dream is.
We had heard that the Albany schools were the best, and so we wanted to be able to place Jennifer there. But finding housing in this area was quite difficult. We looked at a number of places that were very small and extraordinarily expensive. But we found some housing over in Gateview, so we were able to rent in 1987. Being here and being able to be with all people, whether they're seniors or economically challenged in some way, it's important to have that kind of a mix. Like, it's important to have generations, to be able to, watch kids grow and still be able to have seniors able to live in this community.
People are willing to pay higher rents and pay higher prices than they would elsewhere in order to go in order to have their children go to the Albany public schools. This really has been the driving force, the school system, for property values and rents in Albany. Presently, the median price home in Albany is $725,000. Rents similarly have moved in that direction, where a two-bedroom condo could cost $2,400 to $2,700 out on Pierce Street to rent, and homes can easily rent for $3,000 to $4,000, 2 to 3 bedrooms homes.
There's a redwood tree on Talbot Street that I planted with my dad when I was like 10 years old, and I went back and saw that. and it's right next to the creek on Talbot Street, and it was beautiful. It's still there. It's awesome. From the best I could calculate, you'd have to make like $4,000 a month minimum to live comfortably in a roommate situation. Possibly, I don't, and that's at this point, that's even by the skin of its teeth, and I'm nowhere near that. I just wanted to be where I came from, and it's next to impossible to do that right now.
The only possibility I find for me in this moment was sublet a room in a house. That was the only affordable thing for me in this moment. And I wanted to be here because it's close to the places I am working and moving in.
I was born in Albany. My father was born in Albany, and my grandmother actually was one of the first 16 families that came over as homesteaders after the San Francisco earthquake and fire in 1906. So we're very much a part of Albany. I'm unable to work. I'm disabled. I broke my back in a car accident several years ago. So I count on the money that I get from renting rooms out in my house.
I'm really deeply involved in my community, and I love it, and my girls love it, and we would like to continue being part of this community. We invested in this community, and we expected this community to take us as investors in the community, socially, not financially. That socially we invested in this community, and I think we will be pushed out of this community. We will be forced to get out of this community, not by our choice, because we totally cannot afford even one-bedroom units.
Thank you for joining me in listening to these stories. I hope that, like me, you also care about keeping Albany a strong and diverse community where people from all walks of life and levels of income can live together, can be productive members of the community that we treasure. I'm happy to be a member of the Diverse Housing Working Group, which is an advocacy coalition of people who live and work in and love the city of Albany. We're working with the city to make sure that housing plans for the future make it possible for all people to thrive here.